Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Two Button Brass Takes on TMEA All State. Today, we're going to be looking at Arban's characteristic study number 12. So hard, and I suffered a lot through this exercise, but I'm going to make sure that you don't have to suffer like I did. So stay tuned, and let's get started. Roll that intro.
Let's just take a ride along the bay. We don't need to work, we can sit around and play. I've been waiting for so long to get away.
Arbans wrote these 14 characteristic studies in the hopes that anything you play in any of those studies is going to be harder than what you would encounter out in the real world, playing an orchestra. The idea with these etudes is that they're really, really hard and really virtuosic, right? They are very technical exercises, but there's a lot of great music to be made in any of these. For example, number 12, it starts in this F minor, very like intense, kind of emotion. And so what I do when I go through any piece that I'm doing for an audition is I write down an emotion that I want to convey to an audience. So your emotion could be anything that you want. For my very first section of this etude, I wrote down intense. Something that I did to help me kind of get on that momentum right off the bat is I kind of give myself a 1, 2, 3, boom. Count off, so that I'm kind of like already thinking about time. I'm already thinking about those moving 16th notes. 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. So I'm already kind of going on that momentum. Figure out where you need to breathe, because there's not a lot of good places. You can kind of listen back to my recording and see where I did breaths. If you can do it in maybe 2 breaths, that would be great. The faster you go, the easier it is to breathe. If you go really slow on this one, you're gonna have a hard time finding places to breathe unless you have a really great lung capacity. I do like a little bit of a retardando in the measure, I believe it's measure 20 in most editions. And so the second section, I guess we'll call it the B section, the cantabile section, it changes keys. We're in major now. I believe this is D flat major. It should really just drastically shift character, characteristic studies. And it says dolce, so sweet, right? And piano. None of this etude is really marked very loudly, right? So the beginning is marked forte. That's the loudest it gets. So you don't really need to really push it the whole time, because it is a marathon. It's not a sprint, right? Like, you want to be able to last the whole time, and it's quite a bit, especially if you're recording it multiple times in one sitting. You kind of start to feel it in the face. Color is simply how you sound. It's like how the characteristic of your sound. Like, is your sound very bright, and is it piercing? Is it very resonant? Maybe in the second section you want to have more of a, like we say, dark, just kind of meaning more full, more kind of round sound. That's a great usage here. Really take advantage of the contour of the line. When it raises, go ahead and crescendo up when it kind of like goes back down, you can come back down with a dynamic, and that gives it kind of a little more of a organic quality, right? It breathes and then it kind of exhales. All right, and so those are some of my big takes on characteristic study number 12 from the Arbans, and I'll go ahead and put up on the screen a couple of other practice techniques that I use in my own practice and preparation for recording this etude. So you can go ahead, take a look at those on the screen. Let me know down in the comments what you do differently. Maybe you articulate differently. Maybe you have a different preparation strategy. I'd love to hear about it. I think one of the best things you can do as a student, as a trumpet player, as a musician, is always learn, always take in new material, be open-minded, and that's how you improve. So best of luck on those auditions and those recordings, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.